Good morning, students. Let's start our HRM class. Yesterday, we have learnt about the employee orientation, and let's continue the same topic today too. And by which we will end the topic in today's class. Yesterday, we have learned what is orientation, what are the types of orientation, employee orientation. So, today we will learn the steps to be followed for preparing an effective employee orientation program. So once when we're planning to conduct an employee orientation program, the things that we have to decide is we have to aim what are the things that we have to aim for conducting this program. Is this the is this orientation program should aim for the retention of employees, retention of employees means making them to continue in the same organization for a longer period, uh, is called a retention. And the next thing is, should we aim for to inculcate them the high performance, or any other factors like any result oriented ideas that we do have, and we have employed them for any special projects which are with a limited time frame, and that has to be driven by the result oriented. So depending upon the depending upon the employment timing, whether they are for the short term assignments, or for long term assignments, or like any contractual based employment, or any the full time employment. So retention will come into the place, like contract based employment or any time based employment. We have to provide the we have to plan our orientation program accordingly. Like if it is like full time employment, our orientation program should provide all the information which is needed for the long term tenure, that the employee will be continuing with us for a longer period of time, and should not have any doubts or ambiguities for his long term career goals in our organization. So, we have to program our orientation program with all the informations, with all the details and policies that we follow uh, for his long term. Like take an example, when I'm saying retention long term, suppose take an example, an employee starting at his early ages as an employee, and he is a full time employee. So when he is working with us and continuing to work with us, so there might be chances, various aspects that in his personal life will occur, which can also in relation to the organization, uh, like a new employee starting with an organization at early stages of his career, like after completing college only he's joining the organization. At that time he might be a bachelor with a bachelor and is having a parents. Then after going forward, this employee will get married, will have children, and so when we want him to be a long term full long term employee with us, we have also have to provide him all the information that when he gets married, what are the things that he can the organization can provide as a part of as a financial benefits, or a welfare benefits, like family insurances, life insurances, accidental insurances, all those kind of information which might be needed in a long term life, or as a lifespan based uh, we have to provide all the information at the time of joining only. He might not be surprised in future, when on a need basis, when he need support from the organization, and that organization is not providing those, does not have those kind of facilities, though they are legitimate. If organization is not having such kind of facilities, then it would be a problematic for retaining that employee within our organization. The second thing is, when we're talking about the time, there is a chances that we might be appointing an employees for a specified job purposes, and we want that employees to perform on a day-to-day basis, like a performance oriented in reaching our organization goals. Such kind of we have to program our orientation program in such a way that where uh, that employee will provide his high performance capabilities to us, and will help us achieve our project goals that we have employed him for. The second thing is any result oriented, like any specified job that we've been appointed that employee to be. Take an example, we are employing a take an example, we are employing a CEO, or any head for the legal departments. We do have a result oriented, saying that any legal aspects that company is been facing, or any legal help that company is looking forward from his employment. Such kind of result oriented information have to be provided in the orientation program. The next point that we have to make a note of is the is to make a note of all the information that we have to provide to the new employee. As we have stated on the different type of employment needs that we are making a new person come into our organization, we have to make a note of all the information that is needed for his job to be done. We have to provide all those information, like either orally, or provide him with the written prospectus, or any standard instructions that we have to give to him. We have to make a note of all the information which is needed for him in doing his job. We have to collect all that information, and have to give them in the orientation program. The second thing is prepare a checklist for making an effective orientation program. We have to prepare a checklist to include what are the various information that we have to provide him. Like, take an example, he might be a new employee might be working in an operations, but when it comes to the like organizational information, like how the administration works, how the human resource department will work, how the research and development team of the organization will work, all those information pertaining to his job capabilities, and for discharging his duties as an a newly appointed employee. We have to make a checklist of till what limit of information that we have to pass on to that employee. So we have to make a checklist for preparing a effective orientation program. Then after, we also have to it's not only planning, but we also have to make the orientation program interactive basis, like exchange of ideas, exchange of thoughts, exchange of opinions. We have to plan our orientation programs in an interactive ways, where we can provide the information that we wanted to give that new employee, and also can take like any new ideas, any new initiatives that that can improve us, our future orientations, or our business operations, and which can bring a value to our business. uh, Such kind of interactive, not only it's like two-way communication program that we have to, and we also have to engage them in the session. It's not only one way communication, we also have to engage them. Like, it's not only we give the information that what we have, but any information in general, which applies to the all businesses in the economy or in the market. Such kind of information can be exchanged in between the different candidates. So an interactive and engaging session will make it possible. So next one, uh, we also have to welcome the new ideas and suggestions that the new hires giving to us. Means any new ideas or any new suggestions that these new appointed employees is giving to us, we have to welcome them, and we also have to be open mindedly have to include them in our future orientation programs, so that it would be more interesting to employees and also the employers, and also it will in turn improvise is a continuous um, like a continuous thing of improvement. So we can improvise our orientation program session by session, so that it can be more interesting, interactive, and engaging sessions that we can conduct. Next, taking the feedback. Once upon completing the orientation program, we taking the feedback of the people who have attended these sessions is one of the important thing. It's not only for the orientation, every aspect of business, we will take the feedback of the persons involved in that business activity. Why we take it is to take the suggestions, take the opinions, to make ourselves more effective, and also to correct ourselves any place that we are missing out, or any incorrect information is being passed out. So that way we can help ourselves, correct ourselves internally, and which can be in turn a free of cost environment that we are creating. So taking a feedback from the people who have attended the orientation program will help us get the suggestions that we can follow in our future sessions. So these are the these are the these are the main features that we have, that we have to follow in planning an effective employee orientation program. Next, what are the, if our employee orientation program is not a right thing that we have done, where our employment orientation program is not a very good session, what are the consequences that we face is lack of understanding. Lack of understanding is we don't know what is the job is given for, what is his responsibilities, what role he will play in achieving the business objectives. So lack of understanding, if the orientation program is not effective, then may the new person who is joining the business might not understand his role, responsibility, and his results of his performance to the organization. Role ambiguity. Role ambiguity is, suppose, take an example, you are making a new employee who has to take his the business decisions, and you have not provided him with a full information that he to discharge his duties. So without such kind of information, he will have a role ambiguity whether to take that business decision or not to take. So one should not have doubts on his own role to perform, for which they have been appointed to the organization. And next, poor interpersonal relations. So when you don't properly introduce the newly appointed persons to the already working professionals in your organization, that will internally lead to the poor interpersonal relationship between, where it can hinder the coordination of work and will result in the low performance. When interpersonal relations are not maintained properly, and you are not stressing that they have to coordinate in doing the work and achieve the organizational goals. So the when the relationship and the coordination is not being established, it will in turn result in low performance. Means they will not perform to the extent that you have planned for, and which will internally hinder you to not achieve your organization goals in the time frame that you have set. And when there is low performance and that is not resulting in a positive way, and it is resulting in failures, then obviously dissatisfaction dissatisfaction of the employees. And because of there is no cordial relationship between the working professionals, and there is no proper there is no proper uh, there is no proper performance objectives are being performance of the objectives are being evaluated, then in turn it will pop up to dissatisfaction in the employees. Dissatisfaction employees will lead to higher employee turnover. Means which will says that a lot of employees will not continue with your organization for the longer period of time, which will in turn waste your investment in human talent, and also a lot of a lot of unnecessary monies, which would be like paying out higher salaries, higher remunerations, higher benefits, and higher welfare programs, which will have a higher cost to the organization, will all goes to the losses if you don't have a proper orientation. And workplace chaos, all these things like lack of understanding, role ambiguity, no not having a proper interpersonal relationship, low performance, employee dissatisfaction, and employee turnover, in turn it will create a it 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 will in turn create a workplace chaos. Means the chaos means a situation where the work is not getting done as per the organization plan, and not resulting in the achieving the organizational objectives, and uh, and incurring a heavy losses, and may lead to the workplace closure. So an ineffective orientation can lead to all these all these situations, due to which what the researchers and what the HR professionals has suggested is orientation program should not just limit to the time of joining the employment. It has to be three phased orientation. It is orientation program should not only be conducted at the time of joining of organization or a job. It should be in a three phased, which is pre orientation. Pre orientation is when you conducting the interviews, when you selecting the candidates, you providing the information about their jobs, their job descriptions, and their job responsibilities, and what in turn it leads to the organizational goals, and how the organization will achieve the will achieve the its goals, along with providing them a career path. So all these information you have to provide them before you making them an job offer. And once it is called pre-orientation, providing your company information to a prospective employee who can come and join your organization. You will provide all the necessary job information to the candidates before you offering the job to them, to the permitted limits of information only. You tell about your organizational cultures, values, and all the information before you offering the job is called pre-orientation. Once you offer the job, once you give them the job or a job appointment letter, and give the information, all the set of rules and regulations that your organization will follow, all those information you offer them with a job offer, and they coming and join your organization. And at the time of joining, you provide the job site orientation, like like you give the total information, whatever the primary information that you have given at the time of making them to decide whether to join your organization or not. Once they decided they to join their organization, they came up and they have signed their job offer and has joined your organization as an employee. You then, in continuation with the information that you have provided before joining, all those information which is needed to perform his duties and discharge his duties as an employee of your organization, those information in continuation with a pre-orientation, you give them at the time of joining. It is called job site orientation. Now, as a professional, as a generic, the pre-orientation and job site orientation consist of general topics of employment. Now, job specific orientation, like what is the role that they have joined, what is the job description that they have been given, what is the job that they gonna assigned for, does that need any specific qualification or any skill set or any higher improvement of the current skills, or any further trainings that they have to attend, such kind of job specific orientation, like any special job experiences that they have to acquire in doing the job. All that job specific orientation program will cater the information that they need to discharge their duties and work are being given in the job specific orientation. So the skilled HR professionals has suggested that the employee orientation program should be in a three-phased and continuous. Like this job specific orientation can be not only pertaining to the like if an employee has joined at a entry level, so his job specification would be his orientation program would be specified to his the job that he is entitled to. But before when in future he is getting promoted to the new roles, new management roles that he's growing internally, so all those higher roles, you HR will be providing the orientation, might be the employment rules and policies might not change for long term, but a specified role based or designation based job descriptions, job requirements will change as per the growth that the employee gonna take up at a different designation. So all those information that is needed for the employee at the specified designations or roles, or any special projects that they are gonna take, or any special like we said on the top, saying that any result oriented projects that they gonna take up, those information should be given at a job specific orientations. So let's recap the orientation effect. Let's recap what are the effective things that we have to follow in planning the effective employee orientation program. That is, you have to aim you have to decide on the aim. Are you aim for retaining the employees for a longer period, or are you aiming for the high performance, or any result oriented jobs that you're getting the employees to? You have to aim um, what is the decision factor in which you will plan your program. Next, you have to make a note of all the information pertaining to the limits that you can pass on those information, which will in turn help them in discharging the duties that the responsibilities that you have given to them as an employee. You have to make a note of all the information that, and you have to make a checklist of all the aspects, organizational aspects, job aspects, general aspects, all the information. Yeah, that you have to make a checklist of what all the information that you have to provide to the new hires. And you have to plan out your orientation sessions to be interactive and engaging. And you also have to welcome the new ideas and suggestions that the candidates who have attended the orientation program. You also have to conduct the feedbacks and take the feedback of the participants that who have involved in the orientation program. And when you're not planning for the effective orientation program, the consequences is you face is you don't give a proper understanding to the employees who are joining your organization, and they can't discharge their duties according to the role that they have appointed for. And it will in turn result in poor interpersonal relationship, derive a low performance, and which will in turn lead to the employee dissatisfaction and high employee turnover rate, and workplace disturbances and chaos that will incur that that will make your workplace a difficult place to work for. And so as a researchers, the researchers have suggested that job orientation should be in a three phased: before job acceptance, at the time of job acceptance and joining, and the role specified orientation programs have to be conducted to the employees. So with this we come to the end to the topic called employee orientation program. And we have learned features, we have learned characteristic features, we have learned the steps that we have to follow, what are the consequences that we face with a poor orientation programs, and what are the different approaches that we have to take in taking up the orientation programs. So with this we come to an end of this topic. And go through the textbooks or the workbooks that you have with you in on this topic, and leave your doubts and suggestions in comment section, which I will attend either in the comment section, will clear your doubts, or when we resume back our classroom sessions, I can clear your doubts in classroom. Thank you.